On June 11th, 1986, the CBS News Magazine program, as they called them then, West 57th Street, profiled rock promoter Bill Graham. A superb interview with Bill. Rivals the later with Bob Costas multi-part interview. And Sting and Bono chime in because these were recorded during the Amnesty International concerts that happened in 1986 in various cities. This one's wonderful. You like Bill Graham? You're going to love this. Let's hope copyright leaves it alone.
Has produced more than 7,000 rock concerts over the past 20 years. He's considered the best. That's why Amnesty International called him. Tonight in Atlanta, the fourth in a series of 6 concerts to benefit Amnesty is underway to raise American awareness and $5 million to help free political prisoners worldwide. It's the biggest rock event since Live Aid, which Graham also produced. To find out how Bill Graham operates, we went backstage with him on opening night of the Amnesty Tour.
We're going to kill everybody with kindness. If that doesn't work, we're just going to kill them.
It was vintage Bill Graham last Wednesday night in San Francisco.
I spoke to Jack, so let's just leave it in, because it works better.
Okay, great.
Making changes hours before the concert began.
No, you see, no. Mr. Stryker, stop it. You can't, people coming here and have a good time, you can't force them into seeing this.
I disagree with you. I think that's why they're here. Live Aid, the one thing that worked, we know, was when people saw pictures of starving children, not when they saw Madonna on stage.
Jack should introduce this to say, we want you to have a good time, but we need you to understand what it's all about. That's the way it'll work.
Can a normal person do this job? If a normal person can have mania, I mean, it's just mania. The make or break of the show is how well the artist performs.
Right.
But we're going to make certain the sound is good, and the lights are good, and the dressing rooms are clean, and there's paper in the toilet room, and the hot dogs are hot, and whatever else goes into it. So what that takes is mania. What we don't want is anything heavy-handed. It's a great night of music tonight.
55-year-old Bill Graham's legendary style is now familiar to a new generation, including the stars of this tour, Sting and U2.
People say he is funny, but he is ruthless, and he is tough, and he is kind, and he is... Let's
face it, none of us would have got where we are today without a certain amount of toughness or ruthlessness even. I've been ruthless, and so is everybody else I know who's successful.
I'm practicing. I'm really wanting to be ruthless.
I'm taking classes.
He's as tough on his staff as he is on himself.
That's 2. So you are. You know something? There are some things that I don't budge on. When you start with me that way, we're not going to... No. We're going to start this too wrong.
Sting said about you, he said, we all have to be ruthless, those of us who want to be successful. Agree?
I don't like that word. Hard-edged or standing your ground. I have principles I feel very strongly about. If you mess with them, you're going to have to convince me that your way is better than my way. If you don't convince me, you and I have a problem.
I think if you can harness toughness and ruthlessness for a good cause, then you're allowed to do it.
By the time the music started, Graham had been at it for more than 3 months, finding hotels, airplanes, equipment, and more than 1,000 technicians and 100 musicians willing to work for expenses only.
Bill Graham's position as promoter is important, I think, because his family know only too well what it is to be tortured to death.
Graham is a survivor. He fled from Nazi Germany with 63 other orphaned children in 1941. Only 11 made it out alive.
I came here, I was 11, I weighed 43 pounds, I was pretty unnourished, and to the young people in the Bronx, because I didn't speak English, I spoke French and German. To them I wasn't a Russian Jew, I spoke German, therefore I was a Nazi. And that was really the beginning of some difficulty then, because getting my head kicked in pretty much on a daily basis.
It's about time I told you how I felt. Because all week long, you're making demands on me, and I'm getting on my knees. I'm tired of getting on my knees.
He carried the lessons of his childhood into the music business in the 60s. A bitter and angry Bill Graham at age 35 became a leader in the young world of rock and roll at a time when you weren't supposed to trust anyone over 30. His small Fillmore clubs in San Francisco and New York featured the biggest names in rock music. The late Janis Joplin was one of them.
Graham understands musicians, and that's really important to musicians. Most promoters don't care anything except 2 45-minute sets, $6,500. They refuse to relate in any other terms.
Graham spoke to Mike Wallace 17 years ago on 60 Minutes.
Do you think that the kids occasionally take these performers too seriously?
Very much so. Very much so, yes.
In what way?
The relationship that they create, the aura in which they hold the performer, the belief in the righteousness of everything that that person does.
Graham became the promoter with the power to make or break a band. Look at this from the 1971 Fillmore documentary.
We've been trying to get a hold of you for, weeks.
You know, one of the rights of a producer, that he chooses the shows he wants to put on. And these are the shows I've decided to put on. I've never seen your band. And I have a right to put the groups on that I've seen and that I like, that I think will bring the public some pleasure.
No. I just like to say, you and thanks for the memories, man,
The next time you say to me, I hope it's out there somewhere with no cameras around. I'll take your teeth out of your mouth and shove them through your nose. Get out of here. Get out of here!
Partly because of his own success, rock became big business, and the era of the small clubs passed along with the 60s. Graham closed the Fillmores 4 years after they opened.
In 1969, a Wall Street firm made me a proposition. They wanted to open up 54 Fillmores. Fillmore, Kansas City, Fillmore, Cheyenne, Fillmore, Topeka, whatever. And the offer was $11.3 million. And I would have become the ribbon cutter, and the smiler.
You'd have been the Ray Kroc of rock
or whatever.
and roll.
Yeah, it could have been Kentucky Fried Fillmore.
Gentlemen?
Hi. Hi.
How was it last night?
Hi. It was good.
Even though the Fillmore was never franchised, Graham is a millionaire many times over. He sits in the corner office of what has become a music empire that last year grossed over $100 million.
You did the Huey Lewis video album. That is fantastic.
He handles everything: security, catering, promotion. He's even building his own 15,000-seat arena in San Francisco. The Graham formula is simple: total control. And he applied it, or at least thought he did, staging Live Aid. 12 hours of continuous music that raised more than $80 million for famine relief.
He said something in an interview. He said, I would never talk about Live Aid in detail, even when I get to heaven, because nobody would believe me.
The way the media raped that day is what I'm talking about.
Live Aid was televised by MTV, Metro Media, and ABC.
We'll be back with more right after these messages.
ABC made $3 million profit, donating $1 million to Live Aid. MTV and Metro Media donated all their profits.
I remember one lady saying on one of these programs, and now back to Bob Dylan, cutting right in the middle of a Bob Dylan song. Only probably the most significant artist of the last 20 years, if not one of the top 3. Where do you come from? What's there?
I can represent the media. Maybe it'll make you feel better. I can say that the reason why it wasn't done commercial-free is because we've got to make some money here. This is not public service.
Right. That one day you had to make money. It's like the ABC chief, I think, was quoted as saying, "Hey, we have to pay the electric bills too." They just couldn't say no to the opportunity. One time, why couldn't you say, "We're going to do it right"? You know why you should have? Because everybody else did.
This Sunday, the final Amnesty concert in New Jersey will be televised live with commercial breaks. But this time, Graham, after consulting with the artists, will control when TV can cut away. And all the TV profits will go to Amnesty.
The cynics are saying enough already with the Live Aid, Farm Aid. We're burned out on this.
Well, show me a cynic, and I'll ask him one question. What do you do? When I get sick and tired of people saying, oh, the world is terrible, the streets are dirty, there are too many drugs, the wars. What else do you do? Do you kvetch? What else do you do? If you have the ability to do something, do it. If not, shut up.
Thank you for watching Cleveland Live Music. I can't play a lick. That's why I'm a taper. Thanks for watching the channel and making it grow. If you want to subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Patreon and GoFundMe would be appreciated. Maybe I could get guitar lessons.